Hello everyone, let's review Pasuram 24 in Tirupavai. anru-ivvullagam aڵandāy adi pōtri, cenṛaṅgu tennilaṅgai ceṛṛāy tiṛal pōtri, ponra śakaṭam udaittāy pugazh pōtri, kanru kuṇil āverindāy kaళal pōtri, kunru kuḍaiyāy eḍuttāy guṇam pōtri, venru pagai keḍukkum நின் கையில் வேல் pōtri, ennenrum śēvakamēyēttip paṛai koļvān, inru யாம் vandōm iraṅgēlōr எம்பாவாய். So if you look at the previous Pasuram, the thing gopis were requesting Krishna to get up, leave his house, come to the hall of audience, sit on the throne and listen to their request. So Krishna paid attention to it and he actually obliged. So now the gopis were all waiting in the hall of audience. All the people are assembled there. They're all waiting for Krishna to come. Everyone is looking towards the entrance, and then suddenly there is some movement, and then they see that Krishna is at the entrance of the hall of audience, and they are seeing Krishna walk through the hall of audience, reach the throne and sit on the throne and face them. Now for these gopis, for so long they've been trying to wake up Krishna. All they wanted was to be in the presence of Krishna, to lay their eyes at him. And now this is the moment where they're actually able to see Krishna. And they are in his presence. They're able to see his Swarupa. They're able to see that beautiful smile on his face. And he's walking. He just went past them. Now for the gopis, they are overwhelmed with love-filled devotion. So Krishna is their favorite. And that just one moment where they were in his presence, that was too much for them to bear, and that was so overwhelming, and their hearts, love is swelling up in their hearts. And when that love is swelling up like that, what do? They are singing praises of Krishna. And that's what this Pasuram is. It is about the praises of Krishna. So the gopis are singing praises of Krishna here. And if you want to understand what the love-filled devotion feels like when you lay your eyes on the Lord, you should listen to a song called Madhurashtakam. There is also, it's sung by M.S. Subbulakshmi, and it is a very beautiful composition, and it is about when you look at Krishna, the feeling that you get. And it says, Adaram Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram, Nayanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, Charitam Madhuram, Gamanam Madhuram, Madhuratipate Akilam Madhuram. So it says that everything about you is sweet, Krishna. And that is the kind of love that swells up from you. It's a very beautiful one, and if you haven't heard it, please do listen to it. So these gopis were in that situation where the moment they laid their eyes on Krishna, there is this love that is coming in from them. It's swelling up. Pongi perigi pravagamaga varudhu andha love. So that's when they are singing this. And this is a song that is in praise of Krishna. And there are obviously many of these Pasurams, but this one is very special because every Pasuram has pōṭri. Pōṭri means we respect you, or we admire you, we pay homage to you. Those are all the pōṭris. So a lot of people just sing this Pasuram alone as an everyday prayer because it has all the leelas of Krishna and also talks about Vishnu. So this is something. And in the Vaishnavites, there is one very important composition called Pallandu. So that is something that is usually sung for someone to have long life and be free from diseases, but it's also a praise of Vishnu. So this is along those lines. So this is where the gopis are singing in praise of Krishna because they were overwhelmed when they saw him for the first time. anru-ivvullagam aڵandāy adi pōtri. Anru means that day, so something in the past, the other day. Ivvullagam, this world. Ullagam means world. Aڵandāy means measured. So anru-ivvullagam aڵandāy, that day or before you measured the earth. So this references to the Vamana Avatara where Vishnu in the form of the dwarf Vamana measured the earth with 3 feet. So pōṭri, adi means your feet. So pōṭri means we are namaskars to your feet, or we are bowing down at your feet. We admire your feet. That's the thing, the feet that measured. cenṛaṅgu tennilaṅgai ceṛṛāy tiṛal pōtri. Senru means to go. Angu means there. cenṛaṅgu tennilaṅgai. So where did he go? cenṛaṅgu means you went there. Where? tennilaṅgai. So he proceeded towards the south, towards Lanka. ceṛṛāy. ceṛṛāy means won over the enemies. So ceṛṛār in Tamil means enemies. பகைவர்கள். ceṛṛāy means செருக்கு அழித்தாய். So you destroyed the pride of your enemies. பகைவர்களுடைய செருக்கை அழித்தாய். So tiṛal pōtri. tiṛal means strength, valor. Okay. So tiṛal pōtri. So we respect your strength or your ability, your capability. So you went to Lanka and destroyed the arrogance of your foes, because in Ramavatara, Rama went to Lanka because Sita was abducted and he killed Ravana and he brought Sita back. So this references that line. ponra śakaṭam udaittāy pugazh pōtri. So śakaṭam here references the demon who was sent by Kamsa to kill Krishna, Śakaṭasura. So Śakaṭasura was in the form of a cart. And in a previous pasuram we saw, so Krishna was a baby, and with just one kick from his feet, the Śakaṭasura was killed. So ponra śakaṭam udaittāy pugazh pōtri. So śakaṭam references to the cart or the demon who was in the form of cart. udaittāy means to kick. And ponra means killed. So by kicking Śakaṭasura, you killed him. Or you kick Śakaṭasura in a way that with just single kick he'll be killed. So that's what ponra śakaṭam udaittāy. pugazh pōtri. Pugazh means fame. In this context, you can think about the greatness. He was so great that with just one kick he could kill a demon. So that's what this means. kanru kuṇil āverindāy kazhal pōtri. So kanru means calf, right? A cow's calf. kuṇil is a sling. āverindāy, you can think of this as throwing, or āverindāy is also someone who got very mad, angry. kaiyil is a footwear that's worn by the warriors. pōtri, so we pay homage to your footwear or to your feet. So what is this reference? So this references to a demon who was killed by Krishna. His name is Vatsasura. So what happened was Kamsa somehow came to know that Krishna is in Gokulam, and as we all know, he'd been sending demon after demon. So Putana came, and then Trinavarta came, but none of them were able to kill Krishna, and Krishna was able to deal with all of them. And then in the meantime, the Nandagopa's clan, they started to feel that that place was not safe because there were just so many demons and there were like all these accidents around Krishna. So they decided to move to another place. So they went to Vrindavan, and that made Kamsa even more suspicious. And so he was getting restless. He really needed to kill Krishna. So he was thinking what to do. And then he had 2 demons called Vatsasura and Kabitasura. And so he called them both and said, now you go and kill Krishna. And Vatsasura and Kabitasura have the ability to change their forms at will. So by this time, Krishna is slightly older, and Krishna and Balarama have the responsibility to go take all their cows and make sure they graze and bring them back home. So every day they'll all go, and it's normal for all these kids, from different families. The kids were responsible, so they'll all take their cows, and while the cows are grazing, they'll all be playing, and they had a fun time. So this was common. So Vatsasura and Kabitasura made a plan around that. So Vatsasura turned into the form of a calf, and he thought he can go along with this gang, right? That goes to get their that goes to make sure that cows get enough food. So his plan was to mingle with that group, which is Krishna's cows, and then at the right time he was going to butt into Krishna and kill him. And he would push him, and see, the calf may not be able to completely kill. So also as a plan, they had Kabitasura. So this Kabitasura was standing there in the form of a tree, and in Tamil it's called as Vilamaram. It's called as wood apple in English. So he was standing there as a tree. So Vatsasura will push and he'll try to kill Krishna, but in the event that he's not able to manage, he'll push him near the Vilamaram, and the tree will fall on Krishna, and then he'll die. So that way nobody will suspect anything. So that was the plan. So they decided to go. And so Vatsasura went, mingled with the calves in Krishna's herd, and they all walked. And suddenly this calf started to jump and run around crazily. And initially, if you see, nobody will think twice about it. Calves have a tendency to jump and run around. Cows are more calmer. But this calf was jumping, and then it started to hurt the children and the other cows. At that time, Krishna immediately realized that there was a demon. And then the calf turned around, and Vatsasura he saw Krishna standing there, and he thought, here is a chance, and he was going to go butt into Krishna. But Krishna was standing there with his eyes blazing with anger. And as the Vatsasura was coming towards him, he slightly moved, and Vatsasura went past Krishna. And Krishna immediately got hold of the calf's tail, and just like a sling, he whirled it around, and he threw the calf, and that went and fell on the wood apple tree, which was the Kabitasura. The force at which it was hitting the tree, Vatsasura also died and fell down, and they saw that the tree fell down, and when they were dead, both of the asuras had their original form. It was completely shocking for all the kids, but at that time they all realized Krishna is something more than just a cowherd boy. So that's what this is referencing to. Kanru kuṇil āverindāy kadal pōtri. So the one who whirled around Vatsasura, the calf, and with so much anger, you threw it out. We pray namaskars to your feet. Kaļal is kaladi, which is the footwear, but Kaļal is also feet. Kunru kuḍaiyāy eḍuttāy guṇam pōtri. Kunru means mountain or a hill. Kuḍaiyāy eḍuttāy. Kuḍai means umbrella. Eḍuttāy means lifted. So you lifted the hill, the one who lifted the hill, guṇam pōtri. We pray to your, or we praise your characteristic. So what happened in there, and it will understand this better. So we all know that they all moved towards the Vrindavana, and there was this Govardhana hill. And every year, this Nandagopa and all the cowherds, they will organize a puja for Indra. So the idea of that puja was, if they did this puja to Indra, Indra will be pleased and he'll give enough rain. And rain was very important because then there'll be enough grass, and the grass is needed for the cows, and the cows will give milk, which is the livelihood of all these cowherds. So every year they will do that puja. And so Krishna that year asked, why are you all doing this puja? So then they said, this is to get blessings of Indra, so that he will continue to give us the rain. And Krishna's point was, and again this is also said in Bhagavad Gita, if everyone does their duty, when Brahma created all the animals and human beings and everything in this earth, he said each one has a duty. As long as everybody does their duty the way they are supposed to do, we are supposed to get rain. That is the norm of this universe. So Krishna's point was, you're all cowherds. Your job is not to go do puja and rituals and all that. Your job is to take care of your cows, make sure that they are well fed, and get the milk from that, and use it for your livelihood. But take good care of your cows and not ill-treat them or anything like that. As long as you're doing that, Indra is supposed to give you rain. You don't have to go do extra puja for all of this. So he convinced all the people that they don't have to do any puja. Listening to Krishna, they did not do any puja. Now Indra got very insulted, and he thought he has to show all these cowherds who he is. and therefore Indra created turbulent rains. There is rainstorm, etc. The whole place is getting flooded, and they are all huts. So everything, there is no place for them to go. It's raining and raining like crazy. And all these people are helpless. At that point, Krishna, he was still young, he was still a boy, and he, with his pinky, was able to lift the Govardhana hill. And all the people were able to get shelter and protection under that. He stood like that for 7 days and 7 nights. Interestingly, nobody was hungry. They were all just in awe with just being in his presence, and he protected all of them. And at that point, after 7 days, Indra recognized that he was behaving in a way that was not appropriate, and he came and asked for forgiveness, and then Krishna forgave him. So that's what this means. Kunru kuḍaiyāy eḍuttāy guṇam pōtri. So guṇam is the irakka guṇam, the mercy that he showed. So when all these people were suffering, for 7 days he was holding that Govardhana hill. He lifted and did that. So that is the kind of mercy that he has. So he has the irakka guṇam, the kind nature that he has. And that's what we admire. We respect you. Venru pagai keḍukkum nin kaiyil vel pōtri. Venru means to win. Pagai keḍukkum. Pagai means enemies. Keḍukkum means destroying. Okay. So venru pagai keḍukkum. So you win and destroy your enemies. And what helps you do that? Nin kaiyil vel. So the spear that you're holding in your hands, that helps you win your enemies. And we respect that spear, or we are admiring that spear. We pay homage to that spear. Ennenrum śēvakamēyēttip paṛai koļvān. Ennenrum means always. Śēvakamē. Śēvakam means to be in service. We always want to be in your service. Ētti paṛai koļvān. Ētti means pugazh, to praise. So we always want to be in your service. We always want to sing your praise. Paṛai koļvān. Paṛai in this context, you can look at it as getting to Vaikuntha, but it can also be the result of being in your service and always praising you. So you can also think of it as the gift or reward for doing that. So the reward for doing that, always being in God's service and always singing about the praise, is to go to Vaikuntham. So, ētti paṛai koļvān. We always want to be in your service. We want to sing your praises, and we want to get the benefits or the results of doing that. In order to get those results, inru vandōm. We came here today to be in your service, to sing your praises and get the results for that. So you can see that they're also telling the purpose for which they've been waiting to meet Krishna. So, ennenrum śēvakamēyēttip paṛai koļvān inru. So, in order to be always in your service, always sing your praises, and as a result of that, get a permanent place in your abode, which is Vaikuntham, we have come here. iraṅgēlōr embāvāy. Iraṅgu means have mercy upon us. Irakkam kol, right? iraṅgēlōr embāvāy. And there is an interesting way this was split. Iraṅgu yel or embāvāy. Iraṅgu means have mercy. Yel means to accept. And then or means to think about it, to review, to analyze. So what they are saying is, we've come here to be in your service, to sing praises, and to permanently reside with you in Vaikuntham. That's why we have come here. You think about it, and you please accept our request and show mercy upon us. So that's the meaning of this pasuram. That's all for today. Thank you.